Hello, I'm Magical Maiden, and welcome to Magical Maiden's Jewelry Tutorials. Okay, so the last video I made, I showed you some of the things that I purchased to make jewelry with sequences. Now, I'm going to make a necklace. So I got the large ones, and they already come with 2 holes, but if I had to make more holes, I can use a push pin for that. Now I also bought smaller ones, and if you haven't seen that video, be sure that you check it out. It should be the one before this, and you will see what I created using that. So you can use a push pin, but the big ones come with 2 holes already made. So you don't have to worry about that depending on how you want to connect them. Now I'm going to make 2 different ones, but on this particular jewelry tutorial, I'm only going to make one. Now I already had these chains sitting around, and I'm not going to use the large one. Now you can use chains from old necklaces that you no longer wear, or you can buy the roll of chains, and you can find them at any craft store or online, even on Amazon. Okay, so, and then you've got various other online places to buy jewelry supplies like Panda Hall, BB Crafts, Rings and Things, and I've purchased from all those places before. And you might have even seen on some of my jewelry tutorials some of my unboxing and reviews. So now I'm going to apologize for any noises that you might hear. I do have the windows open. It's a nice day, and I would like to enjoy some air, so you can hear talking and probably vehicles and dogs barking. Okay, so today we're going to be making a necklace. Now, I have some chain. Now, what I'm going to first do is get some jump rings, and I'm going to hook some of these up. It's an easy craft. I don't know how many I'm going to use. I might use 4. I'm going to see how it sits. So now you can get your roll of chain. Now you can get your roll of chain that you might be using, or if you have an old necklace and you want to cut it up and use that. And I might do that. So I'm going to put all my excess aside for now. So I don't spill it all over the place. Now, you can mix some of these small ones or these in between each one if you wanted that look. So I'm going to see what that looks like. I might not. I might want it just clean and simple. So let's say I wanted to do something like this. Obviously, I'd have to use my push pin and make another hole to connect. And I would do something like that. Sorry for the noise outside. And then do that. Or I can use another one that looks just like that. So those are options if you wanted to do something like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get some jump rings out. I'm going to add more light onto the subject. I have my magnifying light on. So what I want to do is I want to attach some and see how many I'm going to do, because I haven't really decided at this point if I want it to be 4 or more. And I can make matching earrings, which I'll be doing as well. Okay, so I'm just going to take one of these. These appear to be a 6mm. Don't really remember, but this is like a 6mm jump ring. And I'm going to take my round nose and flat nose, and I'm going to go ahead and open up this jump ring, and I'm going to see if this will work. That'll work fine. Now, I can probably get away with a smaller jump ring. So if you didn't quite want to use, hold on, something's happening with this one. I'm going to use my other set. You really want to make sure your jump ring is closed because these will slide through. Okay. All right. And so now I have it. So I think the 6mm jump ring works the best. Okay. Now, if you wanted more space, you can use a bigger one, but I wouldn't do that because you want it more uniform. So I'm going to continue doing jump rings all the way through. Okay, so now I've gone ahead and attached these. Now, some of these are going to have scratches and marks, unfortunately, but you want to take like a soft tissue or a soft cloth, kind of wipe them. Be very gentle. You can't help that it has those, but you know, you could at least wipe your fingerprints off. And so this is what we got so far. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these aside. And again, those are 6mm jump rings. You can use bigger or you can use smaller, but if you use too small, see how they sit? This is perfect. If you use too small, they'll overlap. And I really don't like the way it looks, but if you do whatever you feel looks best. Okay, now you can use an old chain from an old necklace, or you can go ahead and just use what you got. So it depends on how long you want this. I don't want this too short. And it's going to hang probably maybe 17 inches. Okay, now chokers are typically 18 inches long, but I don't think I want it. I mean, chokers are typically 16 inches around, but I don't want it that short. So I'll probably do about 17 inches. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the chain. And I don't want to cut too much. Just cut about 7 to 8 inches. Maybe 7.5 inches would be great. I can always extend that with some jump rings if I see fit, but you know, I think 7.5 works for what I have in mind. So I'm going to take my chain, I'm going to take my cutters, and I'm going to cut. Yay! All right, that worked. So now first I'm going to attach this before I cut any more. Again, you can get rolls of chain if you don't have any spare chains laying around, and you can find the rolls of chain anywhere really. Now, to attach this is very, very small, and I don't know if this will go through it. So I'm going to see. If not, I might have to attach it with one of my smaller jump rings, possibly a 4mm. So first, I'm going to open these up, and I'm going to see if it'll go through. Actually, it does, so that works out because I'd like to keep my jump rings uniform. But again, you don't have to. This is just what I'm doing. If you want to use a smaller one for that purpose, then go ahead. So now I'm attaching the chain with the 6mm jump ring, but again, I could have used a 4mm. And again, looking to hear that click to make sure that that is secure. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it around my neck and see where it sits. Now you can't see me doing this, but I do have a mirror in front of me. And that's what I like to keep, a mirror in here, because it really helps me to, when I'm making jewelry and I want to see how something looks, instead of getting up and having to look in a mirror somewhere. Make that a little shorter. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the other side, but I'm going to cut it shorter, and then I can trim a little excess off that side once I see how it's all hanging. So I think the 7.5 was too long. So I think I'm going to go 5.5 inches. And the reason why I want to do that is because you will be attaching jump rings in a clasp, which adds more length. So now having these magnifying lights really helped me because the holes are so small sometimes and my vision is not the best. So I'm going to close this. And because these are so thin, you really want to make sure you hear that click and that jump ring is closed. Okay, now I'm going to try it again and make sure. Oops, my mirror's on magnifying. I don't want it magnifying. About an inch. Because I don't think I need it quite that long. But I don't think 5.5 was cutting it. I think I actually needed it a little bit longer, but I'm going to go ahead and attach one of my little lobster claw clasps and a jump ring. And then on the other side of the jump ring, I'm going to see how long it is. If not, you could always add more jump rings because nobody really sees what's in the back of your neck unless your hair is short or you want to wear your hair up. In either case, then, you know, I'll tell you what length you should, which is best. Okay. So, now I'm going to hook this up. See how it fits, and if I like the way it's sitting on my neck, I will show you. Otherwise, I'll have to adjust it. Okay, so I've noticed that I like the way it's sat with the length that I have here, but I wanted just a little bit more, so maybe one more jump ring will give me the exact length that I want. So I'm just going to add that one more jump ring on the other side and see. Now I heard that click. So I'm going to go ahead and try it off camera, and then if I like the way it sits, I'll be right back. So here it is. This is the length I kept it at. Now, again, some of them might be scratched up and cleaned up. I have to clean them up, but you can clean them up. Now, if you wanted it to hang longer, make your chains longer. You could cut it at 4 inches to 6 inches or 6.5 inches. I think if you cut them at 6.5 inches, you'll get it to sit right here. But if you want them longer, then 7 inches. Because, you know, you're going to add, you know, you're going to be adding your jump rings and clasp. And so that's what it's going to look like. It is off of my neck so you can get a better look. Now it does hang a little lower than on here, but you get the idea. So this is better lighting. I have outside lighting here. And again, you can make this longer. You could add more. Oops, sorry. Just want you to see how that looks. And it shines and it's very reflective. Now I do have to clean it because you're going to get your fingerprints on. Unfortunately, sequences tend to have little scratches on it. Pick out the best ones. But really when you're wearing it, you don't really notice it that much. I tried this on and I really like the way it looks on. There's my cat's Rudy in Salem. I'm trying to find Magic, but I don't know where he is. So here it is, one last look. I'm going to just show you how it would look with reflective on it. I wanted to take you where you can see the outside light shining on it. And once I clean it up and get my fingerprints off, it should look nice. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my videos. Bye.